I'm just getting everything set up. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I actually couldn't find my phone. I put it down somewhere and then couldn't work out where I'd put it. And so I'm looking around the house, and it was next to the fire, not on the fire, but near the fire. So good morning, everyone. It was a very funny scramble. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to? Maybe I'll just have to Zoom it and then work out, because it's on silent, right? So I couldn't even ring it. So anyway, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm finally back in Sydney from my Queensland road trip. Women of Light Queensland road trip. Who has been watching the road trip? Who's on here? Love to see who we've got on here this morning. Good morning, Christine, Beck, Diane, Helen. Lovely to have you all here. I have had so many people saying that they've enjoyed watching all the interviews and different things that are happening. And I always go through my own process when I go away, especially when I go back up. I see Far North Queensland as my home. And so when I go back up to Queensland, I always go through a process. And so I went through a process this time around. It was very, very interesting, finding my own sovereignty, I would say. It was about that. And going through that process, of discovering the land that I'm standing on at the moment. So I just want to acknowledge the custodians of the land, the Indigenous that have walked before me, the ones that shined brightly, and all the healers before me. I'm actually just about to get in contact with the Indigenous custodians of the land, the Darug tribe here in Sydney, because two people spoke to me at different times, and I was telling them about this big tree that's in my backyard. And hey, Irene, lovely to see you or see your words. Yeah, we've got this massive big tree that's an original tree from when before the land was cleared. They left this tree, and I've had two different people say that they think it's a birthing tree. And so I'm going to speak to the Darug tribe and just check out what their thoughts are, because we've just done a massive clearing, and I'm going to speak to them and see if they would like to do a smoking ceremony or something on the land here as well, because as you might have seen, I think I put it on my personal page. I put something about when I went to Dom's gallery in Toowoomba, who is a friend of my friend Nicolette. And so that reminds me of what I just want to share something before we start. So we're actually finishing Women of Light, A Dose of Sunshine at the end of June. I'm always in for change and flow, and that's the type of person I am. I'm constantly evolving and moving and growing and expanding. And so I next, starting in July, I think it's going to be the same time as on a Monday at 9:30, myself and Nicolette Jane are going to do a series called Spiritual Bites. So we're just going to, because we have some amazing conversations, and so we're going to just talk about whatever comes up for us, whatever we're going through, spiritual stuff, crystals, healing, you name it, whatever you want to hear, we're going to have a conversation about it. So it's going to be very free-flowing and formless. And we're just going to go with whatever comes up. So that starts in July. So I just thought I'd share with you. Now, let's get to business. Let me just, who believes there's right and wrong? I want to ask you. Hey, Tam, lovely to have you here. Who believes there's right and wrong? What are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on there being a right and a wrong to something? I'd love to get some feedback from you. I have a feeling everyone's watching me while they're getting ready for work or they're at work. Something. Am I still on? Let me just make sure. It's awesome to have such a wonderful tree on your place. Oh, it's such a beautiful, beautiful tree, Helen. It's amazing. So you believe in right and wrong. Okay. So I've had someone respond. So my thoughts on this, cold but typing too hard. Cold making typing too hard. Yes, it is very, very cold. I've got the fire on here. Some people don't accept responsibility for their actions no matter how much you try to explain. I don't. This only exists in duality in the world, is not real, but of the illusion. Absolutely, Christine. And that's where I was going. So well done. You know, we're on the same page. We've done the same sort of work. Your perception of right and wrong depends on the level of consciousness you are in. Absolutely, Helen. And so right and wrong is not black and white. Right? When you look at black and white, which are not colours, by the way, but if you look at black and white, generally there's a consensus in the world. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Lucia. There's a consensus in the world that black is black and white is white, right? Or red is red, whatever. It might be a different word in a particular language, but it's generally all agreed upon with different colours. But when it comes to various political decisions, choices in the world, what is right and what is wrong, what our status is, all of those things have a variant in them, and the variant is us. So it depends on our level of consciousness, as Helen was saying, as to whether we believe in something being right or whether it's wrong. And so I know from my own experience that I'm guided from how I feel in my body. And so my right and wrong depends on my thermostat, my physical thermostat, if that's the right word for it, where I gauge whether something feels right for me to do or something feels wrong for me to do. Now, some people think that telling a white lie is okay. Now, for some people, it might be. They may have no response in their body. They feel that they have the right to make that decision in the moment and to not like to deceive. Now, all of us know about Santa Claus, right, and the Easter Bunny and all of those things. And so we were, as children, brought up with deception in a way. Just the way of the world. Whether it was right or wrong is another thing. However, we've been brought up with deception in our life. And I know from my own personal experience that when I'm doing something that isn't in alignment with my spirit, I feel it in my body. My son's the same. I remember when he was little, my kids took a whole heap of kids to the shops. I was at a friend's house and they got some money out of my purse and went back, and they had to go past my friend's house, and I saw them coming back with these chips. And so I stood out and I spoke to them and said, you know, where did you get the money for that? And my daughter at the time was really good at just going, yep, Dad gave it to me. You know, and I knew she was lying, but I turned around to my son and his whole face is going, please do not ask me in front of my friends, because he knew and I knew that he was the same. We cannot lie. And like it just is shown all over our body, right? And so he's saying, please, please grace me with not asking me, right? And so right and wrong is a perception of your inner knowing and your inner consciousness. So whether something's right or wrong to you, like, for example, and this is a really big one, you know, should I even say it? But people at the moment that are saying it's right to go and get the immunisation for COVID, and there's other people that are saying it's wrong to go and get it. And both have got valid points, right? Both of them totally believe it. And unfortunately, what happens is in the two different camps of perception, for example, religion is another big one. In the two different camps, we make our right statement somebody else's wrong statement. And so, therefore, all of a sudden there's conflict, there's separation, and there's division. And that is one of the challenges that's happening in the world. So as everyone on here, generally people on here know that there's three, what I call the three powers: power, powerless, and empowered, right? And so power and powerless is this duality that we live in, where we're in this game of one taking from the other. When you can step into a place of being totally okay with your decisions and that this is just my opinion, and being totally okay with somebody else having their own opinion as well from wherever they are, and not feeling like they're right or they're wrong, or that somehow changes who you are and you have to justify who you are to them. When you can step out of that duality, oh my gosh, that's where life really, really flourishes and joy comes, and freedom and unconditional love comes. Because when we can unconditionally love someone that has a different opinion to you, there's total freedom in that. And this is where the world is hopefully moving to. So be aware when your opinions start being static. Start being that what your opinion is the only opinion, or your opinion is the best opinion, and everyone else needs to think that way. Let me know if that's landing for you. Please, please share on here if that feels, if you understand where I'm coming from. Love this. My parents had shots I did not understand. Respect their choice. Absolutely, absolutely. You've got to respect where people are at, right? You may feel the need to share your opinion and voice where you're coming from. And if you do that, you have to, if you're still going to stay in that place of empowerment, voicing your opinion and saying, hey, this is just my opinion, take it or leave it, whatever you choose. When you can voice that and still allow someone else, not allow, because how dare we, still know that someone else is going to make their decision based on their own observations of life and their own consciousness, then you know, that's freedom. It really is. When you can really let go and allow somebody else to be who they are, you know, like, and I always say allow, but it feels so egotistical. But I mean, when I'm saying that, is just experience somebody else as who they are. You know, that by not trying to change somebody. So I understand where you're coming from, feeling more liberated, being myself and respecting. Oh, I missed that. Sorry. Yes, that's what I had to do, without judgment. Absolutely. And it's a really good opportunity, right? Because it's an opportunity for more growth. Hey, Lucia, what do you think of my necklace with my green top? I just did a cleanup and found this necklace. I just saw you and I thought, oh, you'd like this. Yes, when you can actually have, you know, as I always speak about Jesus, because Jesus is my man, you know, like I really resonate to him. And so you know, it says in the Bible, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, right? When you can come from that place, just total forgiveness or total compassion and empathy for someone, if they've got if they've made a decision that you wouldn't make because you feel like you've got more information, then that's real strength and empowerment, and that's when you can stand in your own space, and that's when healing on the planet's going to really happen. When we can step out of that place where we are judging others for making decisions that are not the same as ours, that's when real healing is going to happen on the planet. So be aware when you're making a decision, when you're creating, when you've got an opinion and you find others that do not agree with your opinion, be aware of how that makes you feel, because sometimes it can be that people try to power over and try and make their decision right and everybody else wrong. And other times it can make us feel powerless, like we've done something wrong. That's cool, Christine. I've got a few of them, but you're right, like he's my main man. And so be aware of how it makes you feel when you feel less than, or you feel like you have to power over. This is where spiritual work really comes in. This is where being a woman of light comes in. When we can shine our light and be aware of whether it's been taken, or if we're trying to power over somebody, then that's when we really need to look and process our own decisions and our own judgments of who we are, right? And shift that. And if you need help, by all means, come and get in contact. This is all the sort of work that we do in Conscious Creator. By the way, Conscious Creator is going up in July. So at the moment, is $2,000 and it's going up to $4,000. So if you're interested and want to jump in, then get in contact with us and just find out. We do have payment plans, really good payment plans as well. So if you really want to start working on this stuff, and we're in June, ladies, we're in June. We've got 6 months until 2022 happens, which apparently is the year of judgment. So we really need to be focused on ourselves and working on ourselves and really shifting some of these old patterns and belief systems, right? Someone not meeting their contacted agreed service and offering a lower service without and compensation. Yep, Beck, you need to get in contact with me. I know we've it sounds like you've got some challenges holding the space from the last time we were working together. So get in contact, Beck, and check in. Okay, 20 minutes is up. Thank you, Irene. I'm heading off. Mwah, to everyone on Facebook, enjoy your week. And I think it's the next 2 Mondays is the last dose of sunshine. We're going to make it count. So tune in. If you're interested in jumping in for the exercise we're about to do, then jump into the Zoom. Irene will just quickly throw the link up. Take care and we'll speak soon. Okay, just shutting that down.
Good morning, good morning.
I don't know why it does that.